Hey guys, what's going on? Christian Garon here. Coming up is our second episode of Garon-Time that we filmed last night. It went fantastic. Before watching, make sure to check out our Patreon page. The link is in the description below, and you can subscribe there, help us build a better show, and you get some cool rewards in the process. Cheers. Oh man, that was a setup. Why don't you pan the camera around Santos and show everybody what we set up in roughly 35 to 40 minutes. Not bad. Not bad. I have the best team in the world. These guys have been up since 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. They came in here, hauled ass and got this shit together, and I have the best team. I'm just so happy.
Kind of sounds like how we met.
On the crew of the academy?
Yeah, 5 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock in the morning.
48 hours.
Cold Alberta mornings.
Love it.
Those are terrible.
Wonderful.
So hi everybody, I'm Christian Garon. This is Garon-Time, and this is Sindy Lau. She is an actress. She's a registered nurse.
Oh shit.
And she's a phenomenal person.
Don't say that.
Why not?
Never mind.
So let's start off real quick. Tell us about yourself, Sindy. Give us a brief description. Who is Sindy Lau? You're an actress, you're a registered nurse. What else?
You know that was question number 4, right?
No, it's question number 1.
Question number 1. Okay, so I'm me. I am an actress. I started off being an actress. Long history of medical / lifeguarding / whatever led me into nursing, as you had mentioned before. And so here we are in Vancouver trying to pursue an acting career, working as a nurse, trying to pay the bills because it's really expensive to live here.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
Yeah.
I lived in Vancouver too.
Yeah. And
Made a go as an actor in Vancouver.
it is
as
tough.
we do.
It is tough. This is Hollywood North, and it's definitely a tough city to live in if you don't have 6 incomes coming in. So
6 incomes
So
or
I have-
6-figure incomes.
So I have 7 incomes.
7 incomes.
I think I have 7 jobs. Yeah. Gotta support that acting career.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, don't list your employers by name.
I won't.
We don't do that on social media.
No. I don't remember any of them.
Good. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Did you want to say hi to anybody?
Yeah, everyone who's watching, thank you for watching. And those of you guys who aren't, well, thank you for not watching.
I don't know if Jason's in the crowd this evening, but I know you wanted to say hi to Jason last week.
I did, but
were-
I didn't want to be a creeper by like typing random messages on poor Santos's interview.
And
It's kind of inappropriate.
And by the way, for all you guys, communicate with each other, have fun, and if you want to connect with people while you're talking to each other in the chat logs there, by all means, connect with each other. I love that. That's phenomenal.
If you're paying attention to each other, then you'll just pay less attention to me.
All the attention on Sindy this evening.
I have camera anxiety. God. Why did I
You are
do this?
fine. So Sindy and I actually used to act together, and we were a crew together. We met in 2008 on the set of the film The Academy, which was created, written, produced, directed, built, everything by Kenneth Barr.
Our late friend, Kenneth Barr.
Yes. Who was just a phenomenal person, but he brought a lot of people together, brought us together, and we were the primary crew for that set for most of it.
4 months.
For longer than that.
5 months.
At least 5 months.
But Ken did say it was 2 weeks worth of work.
Yes. Yeah.
2 weeks worth of shooting.
2 weeks drags into 5 months, drags into 2 years before it's finished and out.
Yeah, 2010. It made it out in Edmonton Film Festival.
Yep, the Action on Film Festival.
Action on Film Festival.
Yeah, that's and that. I'm going to skip down to the 5th question here because since we're already on the topic.
Oh God, we're jumping all over.
We're jumping all over the place.
Okay.
So just as a side note on that, you are technically an award-nominated actress because you're seen in the Academy was nominated for Best Action Sequence.
It was. However, can't take all the credit because this one sitting right next to me did all the work.
No, I didn't do all the work.
We did pretty much built our own set.
We built the set
Yeah.
with Ken.
Yeah, we set up the action sequence. Back then, I didn't have any training in stage combat / fight scenes / whatever.
I didn't either. I just kind of did what I always do and go on by the
Balls to
fly
the
of
wall.
things. We built these lights and everything. I had no clue how to do it tonight, but Santos was phenomenal and put it all together. So,
So yeah, we
I mean,
walked through our fight scene slowly. I had no idea how to fall properly. I had no idea how to kick you in the face properly.
I remember getting kicked in the face hard. Accident.
Because do you remember what you said to me before I kicked you in the face?
No.
Just kick me in the face. I'm okay. I don't think anybody should ever say that on set.
That sounds like a very me thing to
Yeah.
say.
So-
when you're under the gun, just do it.
Just kick me.
Just kick me in the face. Yeah, we were given a gift on that set in the sense that he really let us choreograph the whole thing
He did,
ourselves.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean that was a great thing we did together. I really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun, and being nominated for Best Action Sequence when you're the one who built the action sequence.
Of course.
That's amazing. Yeah.
But since then, I have taken a stage combat course.
Have you?
I have.
But you're a
And
real-
I would love to take another fight scene with you and do it properly this time.
We are not doing that tonight, by the way.
Maybe not
We're
tonight.
not doing a fight sequence tonight.
Maybe in the future.
Maybe in the future.
Maybe in the future.
But you are also a martial artist as well, right? You have at least a background.
I
in
have a
martial art?
background in martial art, yes, in martial arts. Not right now.
He
but,
keeps dancing in the corner, so do I.
I can't say I'm an actual martial artist now because I don't practice and train in it, but I did do it when I was younger. Well,
Yeah,
you did it for a while.
I got the belly going.
Yeah, so do I. Camera, that's 50 pounds, I think.
42.
Yeah.
Close.
Just lie to everyone.
So let's get right into this. You are part of a project right now called Diaries of Badass Chicks.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so what is this? What is this project? What's going on? What's it all about? Who's in it? Who are you?
I am nobody right now.
What do you mean you're nobody right now?
Well, right now I'm nobody. So I have to give a shout out to Elaine Metz. She's the creator and writer and producer and director and everything of this project. She created this project based on basically just to showcase women in motocross and in life generally, in more masculine sports. We don't get featured as much. So there's not very many women out there who have documentaries and stuff on women for motocross and whatnot. So she is a motocross rider and she has written, I believe, 8 scripts. Don't quote me on that. They're all shorts. They're all it's a webisode. All shorts, and she's written episodes to kind of showcase what she's gone through as, you know, a motocross rider, as somebody who, you know, has a job outside of that and does other things, and just her experiences in life, really. And she's put it all together into a nice web series.
Okay. That's really cool.
It is really cool, and I love the premise of it, and I think we have gotten the ball rolling quite a bit since the first day of putting it out into social media. So we are currently
Won the
on.
contest, right?
So no, yes and no. So fingers crossed right now. Diaries of Badass Chicks went into Story Hive. We were, for the first round of voting, and that was for $10,000 to film the pilot. We won. We were one of 15 in BC. There's another 15 in Alberta.
Nice.
That wins $10,000 per project. So we won the $10,000 and shot the pilot. I was supposed to be in the pilot, but I was in Taiwan, and because of location and timing and stuff, they shot 2 days before I got back. I got cut from the pilot, but hopefully episode 2 will be funded. So we just finished a round of voting through Story Hive for the $50,000.
Nice.
So one project out of BC, one out of the 15 in BC will get $50,000, and one out of Alberta will get $50,000. So fingers crossed. Hopefully everyone voted, and that
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I voted every day.
So did I. So we'll find out on February 22nd whether or not we get the grant through Story Hive.
Okay.
If not, we're going to keep pushing forward and start pitching, hopefully get funding, get people on board, support, donations, whatever we need.
Social media like
social
crazy.
media like crazy. We already have a lot of stuff on social media, so you guys can check it out on social media. Just search Diaries of Badass Chicks, you'll find it anywhere.
Yeah. So Diaries of Badass Chicks area. If you are able to minimize and copy paste a link to it into the.
It'll be on Facebook's page. We've got Instagram.
Into the where?
Into the comments section.
And then if you Google Story Hive, Story Hive, Diaries of Badass Chicks. Sorry, losing my brain. It's been a long day. Then you'll find our pilot on Story Hive, and then it'll also take you to a YouTube link on Story Hive as well.
Nice.
So you can watch the pilot. It's 8 minutes for the pilot, and then hopefully more episodes will come.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it just sounds and looks. The cinematography looks amazing. So
check it out, because every girl on there is riding a motorbike.
That's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Okay, so man, you answered like a swath of my questions.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry for answering.
Sorry
all of
for
your
talking.
questions. Let's jump into one of the GT3 questions. So, going into acting, we're going to focus on your career as an actor. What inspired you to become a performer? Or what led you into it?
Well, when kids say, oh, I want to be a marine biologist or a cop or a firefighter or whatever, I think I switched job, career, dreams probably every week. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do.
Kind of like a dabbler?
Yeah, so
kind of like,
I'm pretty much a dabbler. For as long as I can remember, I've pretty much held certificates in 10 different things all at once. I had 10 jobs, and I loved it because it kept me on my toes. Nothing's ever the same every day. Everything's always different. And I think that's what really pushed me into acting, is because you take on a different character every time. You take on a different career. You take on a different persona. You take on different hobbies and different interests. And as an actor, you have to be flexible to be able to do all those things, or at least do them well enough to look like you know what you're doing. You don't have to be a professional at them, but so pretty much the jack of all trades and master of absolutely nothing.
I wouldn't say that.
Is what I am.
No,
So
absolutely not.
That's
great though.
Kind of pushed me into acting because I wanted to be able to do something different, kind of every day.
Yeah.
So I figured acting would be something that could do that for me.
And I think it's kind of one of those things where it really just does that, right? Because
It does.
you get to do this, you get to be this person, be that person, do this, do that.
Yeah.
So I know that's one of the funnest things for me about acting is one day I'm the douchebag, the next day I'm the villain, the other day I'm the crazy scientist.
Mm-hmm.
I did that one in school. That was a lot of fun. Crazy scientist was a lot of fun. Do we have any questions from anybody?
A comment.
A comment.
In regards to the length of your jeans.
Whose jeans?
Mine. They're
Oh
riding
no,
up right now.
yours are great right now. Nothing but positive feedback.
Oh God, my jeans.
What's wrong with your jeans?
They're riding up so everybody can see my skin because I've gotten fat in the last couple of months.
What's wrong with skin?
All of that ankle skin.
Oh yeah, there we go. Let's just do that for
Well,
the rest
then you
of
don't
the
have
show.
to feel like you're on your own here.
Nice.
Oh, we're gonna get flagged for adult content.
Oh, Twitch is gonna shut us down
This
again.
is G-rated, right?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, for Instagram and Facebook, Twitch shut us off last week because you can't karaoke on Twitch.
Oh,
Yeah.
can't sing, so guess what, you guys?
We're not going to be singing. We're not singing today, Twitch. You're not shutting us down. All right.
Who actually shuts you down?
They've got an algorithm or something. We'll get into that.
Okay.
Well,
somebody from Twitch must be watching us then.
No, it's an algorithm. It's just a robot.
I was hoping somebody from Twitch was watching us.
So what is, Garon-Time question number 2, what is the greatest obstacle that you've had to overcome to this point in your acting career?
I think the biggest obstacle, even to this day, is trying to get those roles that are just 30 to 40 female with no ethnicity. My greatest obstacle is every time I get a good solid script, you know, a good huge audition, something for a feature, film, TV show, reoccurring, whatever. A lot of the times those roles, I either have to A, do it all in Chinese, B, do it in Mandarin and Cantonese,
Oh, good.
or C, do it in Mandarin, Cantonese, and English with a Chinese accent.
Gotcha. So, I mean,
You know,
I wasn't sure if you wanted to talk about that or not, but that's something.
It goes on, right?
Yeah, it's something that we saw in it was the Daredevil, or not Daredevil, Iron Fist. This
Right.
past year there was a big outrage over Iron Fist because it was felt that the character basically shouldn't have been white. It should have been an Oriental character, or at least a half Oriental character. And yeah, I mean, I see it all the time. I've seen it in acting. It's just kind of, there is a whitewashing, so it can be difficult, absolutely. And I know being a woman and being of ethnic origin is also very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is, and it's frustrating when I can't just do an audition in English
Yeah.
as me.
Which is,
Which
English
I just,
is your natural
right?
language.
Yeah, it is. Well,
So,
not from what we've witnessed tonight. It's my second language at this point. But yeah, it is. It's really frustrating, and I feel like I am still fighting that.
yeah.
It's funny. One of my goals in my acting career is to make it on Hallmark.
We were talking about that last
We
week.
were.
Because I know a couple people have done a bunch of Hallmark films.
Yeah, but they don't have this.
Okay.
So maybe one day.
Maybe.
It's
Hey.
a goal. It's dream. You gotta have dreams. You
Yeah.
gotta dream big.
You know what? Just like I was saying today about everything so far, expect the worst, but hope for the best. I think we were only like 4 minutes late. That's pretty good.
No, you had me sitting here for 4 minutes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Sorry.
Instagram was on time.
Yeah, staring into the distance.
So let's talk just really quickly about being a registered nurse. How long have you done that? How many years has that been?
Going into 10 years now.
Almost a decade.
Mm-hmm.
And you've mostly or entirely worked in the emergency department?
Yeah. Emergency. Yeah, I've pretty much done emergency my whole entire career.
And what is there any crazy story that you're allowed to? Are you allowed to say
what the
anything?
funny
I don't
thing
even
is, you
know.
know what? Okay, let me say this. There's a lot of disgusting things that I see in my career.
That makes sense.
Yeah. There's a lot of, and the other day I was at work, and I hadn't been in the hospital setting for a while, and I had to, just bandage up a patient's digit, one of the digits, and
Digits or fingers?
one of the fingers, and the doctor had, sutured it, so of course there's this like huge drape of blood and just saline wet blood and stuff everywhere, right? And I hadn't been in the hospital setting in a while, and I don't know what it was. I walked in, I just wasn't in the mindset, and I walked in and I saw blood, and I was like, oh, I gotta leave for a second. I had to walk out,
Really?
regain my composure, and then walk back in and just turn everything off. So my grossest story, or the best story, is that I don't have it right off the top of my mind, because when I go to work, I leave everything at work when I come home.
So you're kind of you're kind of like an actor at work.
Mhm.
You kind of like just switch on it's like a switch.
I forgot to turn myself on
before walking
into the
stage.
room. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of stories that I could tell you, but I don't know where to draw the line at this point on social
Sure.
media.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, like
but-
I said, I don't know if you can share anything.
I
Right?
probably
It's
could.
It's a medical situation.
But really, it's everyday life, and then I go into work, I do my job, I walk out, and everything stays at work. My mind turns off, and I leave it at work. So,
But that means you're very focused at your job.
yeah.
So-
And then when I leave, I try not to take it home with me.
That's also fair.
Well, I have been doing this job for 10 years, and prior to that, I was a paramedic. EMTs to you, those you Albertans. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, we saw some nasty stuff, and you just gotta be able to leave it at work, otherwise, you take it with you. However, it does help in acting, because
Yeah, you kind
bottle
of
up
get,
those emotions,
and you get kind of an eye. It's almost like one of my acting coaches once said, "There's nothing that will ever trump life experience," right? And I think kind of dealing with trauma and well, all trauma in your case because it's a merge, right? But I think that kind of adds to character and visualization and stuff like that. One of the, at least for me, probably one of the only times I've ever seen something traumatic. It was actually down in Kitsilano a few years ago, and I was walking away from work at 2 o'clock in the morning, and this car just went flying by me at probably 100k an hour. There was nobody else on the road, and it was raining, and I totally saw this car hydroplane, spun around in circles, smoked a pole, went up into the air, and almost it would have gone into the Starbucks on Kitsilano had there not been a semi-truck in front of it. The semi-truck blocked the car from driving directly into the Starbucks on Kitsilano. But this guy, I was the first person on scene.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And I was like, my mom is a nurse, but I've never dealt with any of this stuff, right? And, but I remember going up to the car window, and this guy had like blood in his back because his ribs had popped out through his back. I don't know how or why, but it was just insane. I can't even imagine what you see in the merch. I don't know if I could stomach it.
Well, there was one time I was driving down the Sea to Sky, and of course I ride a motorbike, so I don't like to see motorcycle accidents. Like I'd rather just not know about them and pretend they don't happen.
Yeah.
Because I do like to ride my bike, and I am a bit of an adrenaline junkie, and I like to go, 2 kilometers over the speed limit.
As we all do.
As we all do.
Yeah.
Sometimes 3, but that's about it. However, I did drive past a motorcycle accident one day, and the guy was pretty much dead on scene. But we were one of the first responders. And all I could see to this day is that motorbike on its side with its hazard lights blinking.
And that's just kind of one of
And
those
it just
back to the-
sits in my head for the rest of my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it is scary. There's a lot
It
of
is.
bike accidents, right?
Mhm.
But
does happen. Ride safe.
I'd say I trust you on a bike.
Don't go over 4 kilometers an hour. Over the speed limit. It's dangerous.
Or just over, if you go just over 4 kilometers an hour, like 4 to 6, you're probably
Yeah.
safe unless you're on
Probably.
the highway. Is there anything else that you would like to achieve in your life outside of being an actress? Is there any big things you would like to tack on?
Yeah, I want to be a stunt driver.
Do you?
Yes.
That's
Adrenaline
awesome.
junkie.
That's something.
I want to be.
That's
I want to
popular
do
in
stunts.
Vancouver.
It is.
Is it?
I don't know if it's in Vancouver. There are schools around.
Okay.
It is bloody expensive.
Yes.
Yes.
Stunt courses,
Mhm.
stunt everything is very expensive. Yeah.
That
Probably has to do with the liability insurance of
yeah,
teaching
maybe that.
kids.
Yeah. That and I don't know. I just want to write, film, and direct my own stuff. Gotta make my own work.
Sure.
I think in
I think we
this
all do.
career, the whole thing together.
Making our own work.
Anybody wanna
You have a question?
collaborate?
People have rough days at work, particularly nurses.
Yeah.
What motivates you, Cindy, to push through a crappy day?
Who's that from?
Alex.
That's a good question. Yeah, there are days that are pretty super crappy. I push through because I know that in the end, I really am doing this for my patients. Their family members. I think if it means anything to the patient himself or his family members, if they even get an ounce of happiness while they're in a hospital, which is the worst setting for them,
Totally.
then I've done my job, you know. I'm not your typical nurse. I know that you have to be professional at all times, but I always make my patients feel like the mood is light, you know, because it's not the best place to be, especially in an emergency department. Things are ringing, it's loud, there's people running everywhere, there's people screaming. So I just, when I have a crappy day, I just know that as long as I can affect the people that are around me, especially my patients and their families, then that's what gets me through the day.
Nice. It's a good mindset.
Mm-hmm.
It's a powerful mindset. Is there another? Keith, any questions from Instagram? No.
Oh, that was heavy, you guys.
Yeah, hey, you burned through all those questions. Yeah, I know you want to like get off this set.
Well,
don't
it's
you?
because these lights are like, I think I'm gonna like light up on fire on this one side.
So, before we jump into a little bit of a little playtime here,
Last time I heard about Playtime was when I was in elementary.
Yep. So we have a little thing we're gonna do afterwards. I just wanted to. Did you want to add anything to this interview? Did you want to say anything, or that's all? Question. Leave my throat.
So Christian,
flipping it around on me.
nobody's interviewed you yet.
No, because
No.
I'm the host.
True, but nobody knows much about, you know, what your goals are for acting. Because you know, since we're here collaborating, maybe we could collaborate.
We've actually got a couple of ideas for scenes that we're going to do in the future because we've been talking for what, a year and a half about that.
Maybe
on and
2.
off. Yeah, maybe 2.
Life just flies by.
I know you live an hour away from me, and until last week, it had been 4 years since I seen you.
This is true.
That
Horrible.
makes me angry at myself.
I agree.
Just like it's nuts. Like that happens. You know, I have a friend who lives up the road from my apartment. I don't think I've seen him in a year and a half. It's so weird. But
It's called being an adult.
oh,
I don't like it at all.
are you there? I'm not there yet.
No! I'm trying to fight it.
I'm not an adult.
I'm trying to fight it really hard. I don't want to be an adult yet. Maybe in another 40 years.
Another 40. Okay. All right. Well, there should be good technology by then to keep us young.
I don't need to look young. I just need to pretend I'm young. As long as I...
And by that time, you can perfect all of the dialects in China for all of your auditions that everybody wants you to do, right?
No. I'm going to stick with my Canadian accent.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But to answer your question about my acting career, I haven't. This is the first set I've been on in 5 years. Was my own set. I think maybe 4 years, because I saw you on set of what was that show?
Untold Stories.
Untold Stories of the ER, where you were an actress who played a nurse, which
What?
totally fits.
I know.
We ended up on one of those
Practice
episodes.
for that role.
We ended up on one of those episodes together. You were a legitimate actress on that set, and I was a background actor. But that was a lot of fun that day. That was a pretty good set, actually.
Can I say congratulations
Thank you.
on your own set?
Thank you.
Because
Wouldn't be able to do it without these guys
Yeah.
and my girlfriend.
yeah, you guys are pretty awesome. Pretty kick ass.
You can say kick.
Yeah, I know, because diaries of badass chicks.
Oh, that didn't mean donkeys?
No,
Oh, okay.
not at all. No, you know what? Congratulations, because
Thank you.
in this world, in this field, you need to create your own work. And 5 years later, you created your own set. So I'm kind of jealous.
I kind of, first of all, thank you, but I am lucky that we have technology. It really came down to, like, there's a camera on Twitch on a phone, there's a camera on Facebook on a phone, there's a camera on Instagram on a phone, and, you know, I shipped everything on Amazon Prime for free shipping, and it took 2 days to come in. Like, the technology is just amazing. And
Insert product placement here.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime.
You know, if you just honestly sit in front of a computer for a few days, anybody could come up with an idea to build their own set and anything. It just really takes a know of what you want to do in a drive, and you can put it together. You really can. So if anybody out there is watching this and him-hawing over your project, just
give us a call.
do that too. Do that too. Just do it. More than anything, it doesn't. Quality comes after quantity in an age where there is nothing but content. When there's content, just put your content out there and figure everything else out after. Seriously. That's what all of my mentors are telling me. That's what everybody else is doing. You just do it. You can't be afraid. So, but it was kind of nerve-wracking. Still nerve-wracking. I'm still kind of shaking a bit. But
I'm glad you are, because
so let's we're going to do something called a cold read, and I will explain it as we're getting set up. So we're just going to do a little bit of setup here, but we're going to chit-chat with you guys in the meantime.
can we call it a hot read?
We'll call it a hot
Really
read because
here.
it's smoking hot here. These lights are
Okay, what are we
awesome.
doing?
So I got one quick script that I've done, and I haven't done a cold read in 5 years, probably. All right, thank you very much, and please try not to slip on the blanket. If you guys are wondering why there's a blanket on the ground,
Because it's pretty.
it's pretty. It is. It's to help absorb the sound, essentially, is what it is, because this room was very echoey. Did you want to do this standing up or together? Or
I don't know, what is this?
We don't know because it's a cold read.
Oh. Can I have 3 minutes to read it?
You can have about 40 seconds.
Okay, good.
As I explained in
Perfect.
this way.
Talk
We're gonna get
really
Yeah,
slow.
Did you want to sit or stand?
Sure, we can sit. Does it need to?
I think we should stand.
This is really
We
cold.
should stand. Is that camera okay?
This is so nerve-wracking.
So, just to explain to everybody, as an actor, you do something called a cold read sometimes. And what that is that you're given either very little time or no time at all. You have a script in your hand and you just have to go. So you're going to be Carolyn,
Okay.
I believe. Yeah, you should probably be Carolyn and I'll
Yeah.
be Lester. That would make sense.
It would make sense. Who is Carolyn to Lester? No one knows.
There's some narrative we're going to do.
Great, we're gonna read that.
So why an actor would do this instead of preparing
Yeah, why would
everything?
an actor do this?
It's a good exercise, and you are sometimes thrown into it in an audition. You might be given a big, long script. 2 questions? Yeah.
Is this the Black Panther script?
This is not the Black Panther script. I'm
What is
so
this
sorry.
Black Panther script?
I don't know anything about the Black Panther script other than Black Panther's coming out.
And
Perhaps we
given the,
shall do a Black Panther script.
given the previous outcome of the last Twitch stream, I'm going to assume otherwise, but are you two taking song requests for this evening?
No.
Negatory!
No song request. Who is that?
Zombie Strap-On 513.
I don't know who that is.
I like your style, Zombie Strap-On.
We don't want to be cut off from Twitch.
Is there any other questions?
I wonder if
Instagram?
this is allowed.
No.
Is this like talk karaoke?
Are we
do you
actually
think?
live on Instagram? It is? Okay. What?
Is this considered talk karaoke?
No, it's not. No, Twitch, it's not. It's not considered
I
talk
feel like this is
karaoke.
going to be the new show of how many times can we
Get cut off
violate
of-
Christian. Yeah,
Yeah.
Twitch's.
I was actually running a bit late because I was trying to find a short script to do.
Okay.
So again, just to reiterate, cold reads are sometimes thrown at you in an audition room after you've done your script, or sometimes they throw the script out just to surprise you and throw you off guard and see how you do with a script in your hand. And
Alright.
it's super nerve-wracking and it sucks, but it's also a lot of fun. So we're gonna do it. You okay?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
that's what I look like in an audition room.
ready. Right? Hi. My name is Cindy.
So here's a little bit of the narrative. So I'm Lester, you're Carolyn,
Alright.
and I'm doing bicep curls. I'm doing some bicep
Are we
curls.
reading this part?
I'm just kind of glazing over it so everybody gets an idea. So my character is in his garage.
In a t-shirt and gym shorts.
Ooh,
Can you make
yeah.
up your pants?
Yeah, never mind. And you come striding in, holding your basket of roses, angry, turning off my boombox, and the scene starts from there. Ooh, Mom's mad.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Bicep curls. I'm working on my biceps. And then I'm going to do my back.
Okay. You're smoking pot now? That's a fine example for our daughter.
Oh, you're one to talk, you bloodless, money-grubbing freak.
You took the Mercedes to get all this stuff?
Of course I did. The camera's too small.
Were you stoned then?
What are you gonna do? Ground me?
Lester, that is a $40,000 car. I don't want you driving it when you're stoned out of your
Okay,
mind.
fine. I'll never drive your precious Mercedes again. Big whoop. Alright? It's just a glorified station wagon that you pay way too much for because you want to impress people. Drop weight. Now, do you mind? I'm trying to work out here. Unless you want to spot me.
You will not get away with this, mister. I promise you.
That's what you think.
Okay, that's me walking out of here. God.
I haven't done that in a long time either. That's a lot of fun.
Especially when you're reading
Those,
everything.
those are a blast, yeah. There you go, guys. There's your example of a cold read. You are a much better actress than you were before. Congratulations on growing.
I don't even know what that was.
That was really good. I was completely off. You did a very good job.
It's tough.
It is tough.
It is
Yeah,
tough.
it is tough to be thrown in the fly there. We didn't really have a weight set or anything to work
No.
on. You never.
I
had
could
it on.
see the muscles.
I can see
I believed it.
my beer pack from
I
there.
believed it.
That's good.
Well, the next thing we do then will be scripted.
The next thing we do should probably be scripted. You get a better performance from
Scripted.
knowing your scripts.
And filmed.
And filmed, yes.
And then posted
On YouTube.
on YouTube, Garon-Time, my page, Sindy Lau.
That sounds good. Yeah, do you have a YouTube page?
I have a YouTube page. I think the only thing on there is my demo reel at the moment. And then I do have a Facebook page, which is just Sindy Lau. And everything that I work on will be going up on there. Anything that I have the rights to, which I don't have the rights to all the work that I've done, I can't put on YouTube. So this is why I want to start filming my own stuff so that I can start loading stuff on YouTube.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of tough with the rights sometimes.
It is.
And I believe your demo reel also features you beating me up.
It sure
a little
does.
bit.
It
So
sure
if
does.
you want to see me getting beat up, hit up Sindy Lau's demo reel. 2 questions from Facebook or Twitch.
We would like to have your Instagram.
Oh my god, what is... So good at social media.
I believe
I think
I believe if you search Sindy Lau, it will come up. Is it? Oh, is it?
We
Sindy?
are SINDY.LOUHOW.
That is it.
Cindy.Lou.
Cindy.Luhu. Oh my god, I'm so good at this social media thing.
Since you both mentioned Black Panther, are there any Marvel movies either of you have any particular interest in that you'd want to audition for?
Oh,
and why?
Man. Any Marvel movie would be a
Right?
dream.
That would be. I want to be the Asian chick. Sorry. Had to go there.
I don't know. Is there any one that you would want to be in?
I don't want to say what I am about to say because then the whole world will know my secret of the fact that I live under a rock.
Okay. So you're gonna say it, okay?
I'm gonna say it because we're on live. I guess. You know what? I don't know what's Marvel and what's DC.
That's okay. You're not
It
the
is-
only person who doesn't know.
Honestly, like my mind is boggled when I watch. God, correct me now if none of these are Marvel or DC, but like you get Thor, you get Wolverine, you get Captain America, you've got a whole bunch of other people in suits, Iron Man.
Those are all Marvel.
Yeah, see, like, but then they fight each other, and then I don't know which movie I'm watching.
That's still Marvel.
So I guess if I land up on Marvel, it doesn't matter because I'll land up on every single movie. Because
There you go. That's a plan.
Exactly.
Do one Marvel
so
movie.
I
and
just
you'll
need
end up-
my own Asian character on Marvel.
I don't know about a Marvel movie per se, but years ago they actually greenlit a Captain Canuck movie and then canceled it. And I talked to my agent at the time. I wanted to audition for Captain Canuck. That would have that's a legitimate comic book character. For
That
those
would have
who
been
don't know.
awesome.
It's
That would have
legit,
been
yeah, it
awesome,
would have
yeah.
been really awesome. But I don't know. I would have to say I kind of would like to do something more fun. So maybe an Ant-Man movie. That would be kind of cool. A character in an Ant-Man movie.
Our former videographer would like to know if Vancouverites have alternative walking routes when it snows, and do you regularly have to wear snowshoes to get to work?
Oh, hell no, I got the answer for this. You know where I walk? On the bike track.
On the bike.
On the bike trail?
Oh,
So on our
like
bike paths.
the bike lanes.
On the bike paths,
yeah.
okay? So let me just say that when it snows in Vancouver, we do not have the budget for snow removal. However, all the bike lanes are clear, but the walking
Somehow.
lanes are not.
How? Seriously?
Yes. So when it's super icy out and there's 2 people who ride their bikes in Vancouver per day, none of the walking roads are clear, but the bike paths are clean. So that's where I walk. So that's where you guys should walk, is on the bike path. Really piss off those 2 bikers.
Yeah.
That
there
need
you
to
go.
yell at you.
I don't even want to get into the cyclist situation. Get out of here with that nonsense.
You got into it.
Yeah, I did. I started. I'm going to end it right here.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Who ironed the crease in your jeans?
My jeans.
Yes, he does.
My jeans aren't ironed. So there's your answer.
There. It should sit there. Or a little higher.
The trolling has shifted from the pilot episode of Facebook comment section to Twitch.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. We're no longer trolling Santos. We're trolling Garon.
Well,
any
at
other-
least they haven't shut us down yet.
they haven't shut
that's
down
a
any
bonus.
streams yet.
Sorry, Santos.
Can we see any teasers or perhaps be enlightened on teasers of your next guest?
Yes, actually, and I'm gonna kind of slug you guys with a couple promos right now. I would like to just do a quick shout out to this episode's sponsor, who is Ernie Apostle. He's a real estate agent. You can find him at Ernie Apostle Real Estate. He serves the St. Albert and Edmonton area. And for our next episode, which is Monday, February 26th, we have a few members of the cast of Heel Kick showing up.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm super stoked to have
That
those
is
guys.
exciting.
Yeah, they've done a phenomenal job. If you guys don't know what Heel Kick is, it is out now on every media platform to download, purchase, except for Netflix. But they beat out Thor and Star Wars for the top spot in iTunes pre-orders. This is a phenomenal indie movie that they've just dominated, and much like a lot of stuff in Canada, they had no budget to work with, but they became legitimate professional wrestlers and did a movie about a mockumentary about professional wrestling. So super excited to have them on in a couple weeks.
Looping back from the previous question of as to which Marvel movies that you would like to audition to.
It's a Marvel one, isn't it?
Black Panther's
Marvel
out
or DC?
tonight.
Is
Black
it out
Panther-
tonight?
Yeah, Black Panther's out tonight.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
Which
in
I'm going-
competition with Black Panther.
I'm going to see it on Saturday.
That's good.
Yeah, it's going to be really good.
Are there any roles that either of you have auditioned for that you did not want to audition for?
Yes. But
In Marvel or?
no, oh sorry, in Marvel?
No. Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I've never gotten an audition for Marvel. Yeah. How about you?
Well, I haven't had anything like hemorrhoid cream or anything.
I would
like
take him.
that.
I would take that.
But I think I would take it as well. You know, actors like it for
bread and butter.
Bread and
Bread and
butter.
butter.
Just gotta get your face out there or your hemorrhoids out there.
And a paycheck.
No, I think every audition I've done has been it's been an experience, right? It's why I came into acting. It's, you know, a coach once told me, when you get an audition, you've booked it. You've booked the audition, right? So there are, 20 to 60 to 100 people that didn't get that audition. So I feel pretty lucky that I get the audition. So I go into the audition with everything that I've got, throw it on the table, and hope and pray for the best. So no, I think every audition, there are some that are more struggles than others. For example, speaking in 3 different languages and with accents. But no,
I never had to do that one.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that going into them, you just gotta put your actor side forward and.
Yeah, you got to turn your switch on. You really have to. It's I have done auditions that I did not want to do. Like I've literally gone in because you what's up?
Battery.
That's fine. How much we got left?
15%.
That's fine. You have to take what you can get at first, for sure. And even sometimes years and years later, you just have to take what you can get. But there's definitely been roles where I've gone in, I've looked at scripts and they haven't even been proper English.
Oh yeah.
For the role that I'm going, and I'm like, okay, wing this one.
You change all the lines.
Yeah.
And you just go in with what you got.
I actually auditioned for the lead role on, it was a big Fox show, I can't remember now. It was about like an idiot trailer park guy who ends up with a baby in a trailer
I was
park.
just gonna say Trailer Park Boys.
It's not trailer, no.
My name is Earl.
What's that?
It's not My Name is Earl. Is
Close. It came. It's kind of like that show, and in that style. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, but I feel like I nailed that audition until the last minute, where my eye, it still twitches, by the way. My eye violently twitched in front of the camera to the point where it was like closing and opening like this. I literally got to the last line, finished, and while I was on camera, I was like. That
doesn't even surprise me that you would just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was
That's
fun.
awesome.
That was a fun one. I actually would have loved to have taken on that role.
They probably didn't cast you because of your twitchy eye.
The twitchy eye, yeah, it
That's
was
the
the twitchy
problem.
eye. I definitely, when you look at the person who was cast for that, I did not match that whatsoever, and that's kind of what it comes down to. Sometimes you get thrown in as what they call a wild card.
Yeah.
You're put into the audition with the likelihood that you are not going to get that role, but they put you in as a very contrasting person to everything else.
I went to an audition
Sometimes you do.
for a TV show, and I was the only girl there auditioning for this role.
Everyone else was
all
a guy.
guys,
So it was a unisex.
and like big, like no, like it was for a cop role.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was all guys, and I was the only girl that was there. It was strange.
That's
but you
that's
just,
that's a
you
wild.
just
That's
gotta
a
get-
very
like,
interesting.
That's like your extra Joker wild card.
Yeah,
Sucker.
changing that. Well,
Yeah.
I guess changing
No, but
gender is not such
is
a
what it
big
is,
deal
right?
sometimes. Was that what's that cop show?
No,
There's
it's
only
just-
65 of them on TV, right?
I actually know which show it's for, but I
Blue
don't know
Bloods?
if I can say it out loud.
Rookie
Can I
Bloods?
say it out loud?
Rookie
It's for
Bloods?
iZombie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
iZombie. We like iZombie. CW.
Yeah.
Welcome home, CW. You're in Vancouver.
It is awesome. But
Yeah. Cool. Any other questions?
Have you, either of you, traveled anywhere far outside of your immediate place of residence, your city, for an audition?
oh, for an audition. No, but that's the magic of self-tapes.
It's a much bigger thing now, much easier
Yeah.
to do. You can kind of they do that more now than ever before.
I've auditioned for Toronto through self-tape.
and you just self-tape.
I've done a lot of stuff, but you just self-tape them.
I videotaped a friend who auditioned for the Footloose movie a few years ago,
Oh.
and they were only taking self-tapes. But little did we know that they had already chosen Zac Efron anyway. So
Zach who?
Zac who? What? Zac what?
Just kidding.
But to answer the question, yes, I have traveled from Edmonton to Calgary to do an audition once.
Have either of you ever considered about relocating from British Columbia to somewhere where there is an even larger film or TV industry culture?
Sure.
Of course,
Yeah.
LA, right?
We all think about
We
it.
all want
yeah.
to go to LA, I think. Competition is even more fierce.
There's also more projects happening.
This
It's
is
kind of LA is a very complex beast because you're in a bigger pool, but it's like that pool has all the feeding stations too,
Yeah.
in some aspects.
And then being Canadian, if you're not tied to a project and trying to get a visa and all that stuff, it's a lot of work to
Yeah, being a Canadian and getting down there and working is
Yeah.
a little difficult and can be pricey. Sometimes you can get onto a project here that's filming in the
Yes,
States,
and
whereas
then it moves over and
yeah, and then you can get
Yeah.
your permit through that. That's easier. I've thought about Toronto several times. I actually initially, instead of coming to Vancouver, wanted to go to Toronto.
me too.
But then I didn't. And that was that. Well, I came out here with 10 and just kind of
Okay.
stayed. So, yeah.
I think we would have been stars by
Yeah.
now. Just kidding.
Solid.
And then we have the awkward silence. Sit and
We
stare.
have a troll on set apparently.
Who's the most exciting individual that you have ever run into within the acting community?
We'll start with Sindy.
No, don't start with me. These are tough questions. They're good questions though.
Yeah, those are solid.
Whoever's writing these questions are like legitimate questions.
No questions from Instagram? Nobody wants to ask questions?
I'll be really pissed if I go on there and there is a sea of questions and you're just not looking in the right spot.
No.
Find you.
I've the first couple months of living in Vancouver, I ran into Tom Welling at a 7-Eleven. As we drove by that 7-Eleven coming here today, I pointed and said, "That's where I met Tom Welling." Which was, at the time, I was 22 years old. I was still watching Smallville and, you know, kind of breaking into the acting career. Just bumping into Tom Welling was actually, like, huge for me. I was like, oh my God, I'm here. I'm meant to be here. I met him. No, I've met a few people. Noah Wiley, I got to work on the set of Falling Skies, and he was, if you don't know who Noah Wiley is, what?
I've seen this Noah.
Yeah,
I really
yeah.
like that.
Well, yeah, I loved Falling Skies. Noah Wiley was the star of ER, and so he was also the star of Falling Skies, and he's a phenomenally focused worker, and he's a genuinely kind human being. I just got really quick few seconds to say, like, hey, thanks for what you do, I really appreciate it, and he was super kind about it. Oh, and I got to have a 5-minute conversation with Stephen Amell on the pilot of Arrow.
Yeah.
That was fun. He was very kind to me that day too, because we were, as a background character, you're not supposed to talk to anybody, and I did anyway. we were just waiting on set, and I'm standing right beside him. I'm like, so congratulations. But no, he was super cool. We kind of shot the shit for a few minutes until he had to do his scene, and that was cool. He seems like a nice guy too.
I think I honestly walk around with my head down because I don't think I can't even think of anybody that I've had an actual encounter with. However, I just last year worked on the set of Mountain Between Us with Idris Elba and Kate Winslet.
Cool.
So I got to work on set with them for a couple of days. And didn't have much time with Kate Winslet, but Idris, I had to bandage his hands up quite a few times. I think he hated me by the end of it, but he's honestly a good guy.
Yeah.
He's really nice.
He seems like he'd just be a blast to work.
And the funny thing is, it took me the entire 2 days to remember his name because I had no, I seriously live under a rock. And it was funny because all the crew was like, it's Idris Elba. And I was like, okay, sorry. I'll try to remember that.
Sorry. Come on, Idris, get over here and do your bandages. Come on, hurry up.
So, but he's stand-up guy.
That's
really
awesome.
nice. Yeah.
That's fantastic. All right, battery's about to die, guys.
I just want to point out the honorable mention of those that you have worked with / met, and say my personal favorite being Darren Lynn Bousman, director of Saw 2, also known as the best film within the franchise. Something that I regularly brag over the fact that my good friend received praise from this iconic director.
Yeah, I did work with. I was a background actor, but I was chosen on set to make out with somebody else. That was we were put on set to be in a scene of two people kissing in a nightclub, and he walked over and said, "You guys are amazing. You did fantastic." I don't know why, but that was my experience with Darren Lynn Bousman. It's really not that mentionable. It's done. Instagram is done. Sorry, Instagram. Catch us on Facebook.
Yeah.
But I think we're pretty much timed out now. That's the 60-minute mark. Yeah. One more? Okay. So,
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you so much. It's so good to see you again, by the way.
It's amazing seeing you. We need to hunker down and do some projects.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that these guys can have more stuff to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And be in.
And be involved in.
Keith, the number of projects I have for you.
The fuck, man?
That's the one F word we get.
All right, signing off. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good night. Garon-Time out.
Good night.
Post a wall. Don't delete. Don't delete.
Okay.
Press finish though.
Save.